Guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Tamriel College Tribune. This is episode 2. I'm Zod. You guys know me. Today we have on my really good friend Bertferkins, one of my most dearest friends in ESO. Like I was saying, there's like there's only a handful of people that I actually like to hang out with more than Bert. We're a pretty tight knit group. He's a part of the ESO stream team. Really dope ass dude, really dope ass community. Bucket Squad, fucking every night I think we hang out together. So yeah, dude, welcome, man. It's really good to have you.
Hey, thank you so much, man. Like, thanks a shit ton for the. Can I fucking swear on this thing?
Yeah, you can fucking swear whatever you want. It's fine.
It's like one of my favorite podcasts where like they figure out if they can swear or not. Like, like I watch this podcast and they'll hear the guy say like shit and they'll be like, oh, we can swear on here? And
that's so funny.
Fuck, ass, piss, dick.
Yeah, dude. No, man, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not
probably not a better intro that I could have had. It's just thank you
no,
for
dude.
Kind words. I appreciate the shit out of
I fucking so you know me. I don't do a lot of like not cussing, and I'm not to the point where I have to worry about like. I'm not to the point with my YouTube stuff where I have to worry about like as far as like monetization goes, right? And like them like limiting views of your content based on like cursing and things like that, right? So I don't really care. It's kind of the Wild West.
So just make sure you leave that in.
No, I totally will.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, of course. So I wanted to get, this is something that I like really wanted to get recorded. Like, how did you end up getting into ESO on stream or on PC, and how did you end up getting into streaming? Because I know you played ESO on console like before you got into ESO on PC.
Yeah, so there's like this kind of interesting story. So when I was a huge console head, I mean I pretty much what I played growing up. I never owned a PC where I could play any sort of games on. I was using Juno email to log on to the internet.
Oh my God.
So we didn't really have a gaming PC per se. So when we wanted to play video games, we played consoles. So I'm getting into the space of like an Elder Scrolls. My first game that I ever saw from the Elder Scrolls was Morrowind. I played a tiny bit of it. It was kind of, and we all know how it looked. Like graphically, it was just awful.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I really like the idea of it and everything. So I remember a friend of mine. We used to essentially trade each other video games. He would have something for a while. I'd have something for a while. So he gave me Oblivion, and I was like, okay, well, I'll check this out. And I started playing it, and I literally probably put about 400. I want to say 400 to 500 like hours into that game.
That's crazy.
Probably like the first couple of months I had it. I just played it all the time. Like we would RP, we would just do really, really funny stuff and really have a good time. We both
That's crazy.
Swap the controller back and forth.
I think that's more time. Than I put into Skyrim, and I played Skyrim to death. And I think that's more time than I put into Skyrim. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think so that really scratched my itch for the Oblivion.
Yeah.
With Oblivion in the Elder Scrolls world is really where that's really where I cut my chops.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Then I remember Skyrim coming out. I played it, but I didn't like it as much as Oblivion. But I still loved it. I loved the franchise. The Elder Scrolls franchise was definitely something that out of all of the other games, and I was a huge Final Fantasy guy growing up. So out of all of the games that I played, the Elder Scrolls franchise just really scratched this itch where it was kind of like a medieval time. And it just had its own very unique feel to me. So I remember hearing about Elder Scrolls Online. I was like, man, that's what I've always wanted, was to play the Elder Scrolls games with my friends. I was a huge first-person shooter guy, so we didn't play campaign. We just went and played multiplayer. We would go Minecraft, or we'd always be playing. I had this very tight-knit group of friends that I played with for, almost 10 years. So I remember hearing about it. I remember I got it when it released. Played it. My best friend, probably out here, that from living out here, he got it too, and we started playing together and progressing. And this was console launch, so this was zone leveling. This was no.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. No, I know. Well, see, I don't know on console, but I know I was here not long before you. I was here for beta, and so I was here for like, it was a completely different. It was a completely different ESO. I want to say, if I remember right, did you guys get that version of ESO? Like, was that?
I wouldn't like, I'm trying to. Like I said, I'm
even
in a PC space. I remember seeing Elder Scrolls Online as I'm like on videos on YouTube or Twitter or
that's crazy.
Okay, this looks really awesome. So a group of guys, and I really wanted to play Elder Scrolls, but with my friends, because it's kind of like when the new Elder Scrolls game came out, we were all we weren't playing with each other for a few months, right? So I always thought it would be cool to like get that, but with friends. So we started leveling, and we would do dungeons by standing outside of Fungal Grotto, and I was a Templar tank. Who also was a healer.
Yeah.
He only knew me and him who played it. So he was a Magicka user who used a bow on his back bar. He was staff bow. But we used to 2-man dungeons. It took us 4 hours to beat Darkshade Caverns with 2-manning it with a tank and some awful DPS. We 2-manned it. That like,
oh my god,
this is back in what, 2015 now,
and that was before. I mean, so for anyone who doesn't know, console doesn't have any of the add-on support, and like they've had a lot of quality of life improvements, a lot, but it was bare bones. It was bare bones. Yeah,
he played it 2-manning dungeons and going and doing quests together and getting sky shards. Treasure maps. Like, we played it really at a base new player level.
Mm-hmm.
So then we stopped playing it. We brought some more friends and we all played it, but the leveling was just so awful. Like, if someone played up till like, you both stopped and played until you were level 35 and you're about to go into the Rift, or I think it was the Rift. Mm-hmm. And you go and you have to go to work the next day, but that person has a day off. They played 4 hours. They got to level 39. They can now enter the Rift. You can't go there. And if you do go there, you get fucked up.
Yeah.
The scaling was terrible. Like, a 4 levels ahead of you was like a death sentence. So it was just, people would get ahead of each other, and it ended up just not being as fun. Like, it was like there was no way to keep up. So we stopped playing it. I remember on and off, I tried to like jump back in it here and there. I'd get in there and be like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, man. Just running around looking for quests. Then I'd fall out of it. And that happened probably over a couple of years. That happened. So that brings me into getting into streaming, I guess.
Did you ever stream on? Did you get a stream on console? Did you stream on console?
I did. So I was playing a lot of console. I joined for a very long time. When I was growing up, my dad was a DJ on the radio.
Yeah.
Like, he moonlit as a DJ on the radio.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So he kind of always had a passion to broadcasting, and I always thought it was really, really awesome to, like, just talk about music or something you love, or you know what I mean, and being able to talk to people and have that platform. So growing up, I always really liked the idea of going to some sort of broadcasting or that effect. So I remember just when I really started getting into video games and Twitch became a thing, I remember watching The Division and watching guys play the shit out of that, and I was like, man, it looks so fun to just be able to like enjoy yourself and show people what you're doing and how you're doing things. And so I thought that was really cool. So I really wanted to get into a broadcasting space, and it was readily available. I mean, I streamed between Twitch. I would stream The Division on Twitch. I would stream Battlefield 1. I would stream a lot of things. I just never get really any viewers. I didn't know what I was doing.
For sure.
So then like, I like you had brought up when we were talking before this, before we started recording.
Yeah.
you had brought up like how it was over kind of some girl.
Yeah.
I had dated somebody for a little while. It got kind of serious really quick, and it was just kind of a shitty breakup. I kind of went into it like afterwards thinking about like doing something that I want to do, something to keep me busy, but also finally going out and doing the thing that I wanted to do, which was kind of like get into that broadcaster space that I had wanted to be, growing up. And like I said, now having the platform. So I decided watching a stream of The Division one day while I was at my day job. And I remember seeing this thing flash in this channel. Hey, if you're wanting to be on the stream team, we're looking for streamers. DM this person. So I DM them. I get back and forth. I downloaded Discord for the first time. Couldn't figure it out. But anyway,
that's so funny.
I was DM back and forth. They gave me the application. I applied. I got on the team. So I streamed. Like, I tried to always make sure that I could get on the days where I could stream what I want. Otherwise, I would be playing like fucking PUBG or something like that. But it was basically like a stream team channel, not partnered, just a bunch of dudes handing around, the stream key or whatever.
Yeah.
That didn't go so hot for reasons I won't really get into, but I had some friends there, and I got some very good experiences there. So it was definitely a good time that turned into something else. So me and a friend tried to do the same thing and start our own thing where we played variety and we played what we wanted. And so we had 4 or 5 streamers. I was, making sure everything was scheduled correctly, make sure I was doing so much, while still streaming about 40 hours a week, but doing all this stuff behind the scenes. And so I was like, if I'm going to do that, I want to have more of a legit stream setup. So I decided to buy myself an actual gaming PC, not to play any games on, but to use as a stream PC. But we built it a bit beefier, so.
Did you build out? Did you buy it out of the box, or did you actually build it?
I built it on CyberPower PC.
See, yeah, dude, that website's awesome. So I made the mistake of when I got into PC gaming, I bought my first PC from Best Buy and I spent like $1,000 and spent way too much and got a really crap ass PC.
I spent like $1,100, so it was like this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my tax money. I'm gonna buy myself a PC. We're gonna really invest into this. So we started working with that channel. We had a kind of at the end had a falling out. It was basically me doing everything and not getting credit for anything. Basically how that was going. So that finally came to a head, and I got told if I thought I could, and I still have this screenshot of this Discord message, said, if you want to run the show, go do it on your own.
Whoa, really?
And yeah, so I put in my resignation, left. 2 days. Oh yeah. 2 days later, I was like, actually, as soon as I got off of that, like close the DM, I started trying to make my next move in the stream community, try to figure out what I could do, how to build a brand around myself. People knew me from that channel. People knew me from other channels, but who am I? So I love basketball.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I love basketball. And my thing when I used to play first-person shooters was when I would kill a lot of people, I would just remark, I'm out here getting buckets, son. Like that would just be my thing. Like, and I didn't just like play first-person shooters. Like I was really, really, for lack of a better word, like in the 1% of certain categories in like Battlefield 1, not on console, across all platforms. So
okay.
So like a certain gun I would use or a certain map, I would be in the top 1%. We kind of played pretty sweaty, and we definitely did well. So I would be out. That was just my thing. I get buckets. So I started to sitting with my friend Doc, who I'd met on one of the other channels, a really good friend and a confidant at the time. I was like, I don't know what to call my channel currency. And he was like, why don't you call it buckets? And I was like, yeah. And so like the bucket thing was like born into this channel. It has another meaning other places, but
yeah,
it forged itself into like, okay, well then let me find a cool little clip art of a wooden bucket. And I found the bucket that we all know and love and use and the channel.
That's so funny, man. It's funny. It's funny how things like that sort of like take on a life of their own. I find it like when that happens, like that happens a lot. Like somebody will say something, or they're like, oh, they'll give me a suggestion, and I'll immediately jump on it.
Yep.
I'll immediately jump on it. Yeah, that's funny.
It was just serendipity. Like,
yeah.
So I made my own logo. I like at work at my day job, making my own logo and a free paint thing I had on my Mac, like just putting this together. And what do I hear too? So this is now the day before, or the day before I started my stream, which would have been April 10th of 2018. What basically happened is I was playing Battlefield 1. I was really good at that game. Anytime I played that on the channel, I played Battlefield 1 or ESO. I mean, it's 30 viewers, but I would hit 30 viewers myself. Like that was good gameplay. And plus on top of it, I would say dicks and farts a lot. So it was like Battlefield 1 dropped their, it was almost like this, I don't remember. It's called Incursions. And it was kind of like a Rainbow Six Siege kind of thing, but their version of it. It was just this kind of beta that they were fucking with. And it was really cool. So that was actually, I've been waiting on it forever. And it was like, hey, this drops today. I'm just finishing up my logo. And I'm like, I have to stream tonight. Like, I want to be on the battlefield streaming Incursions. You know what I mean? I'm going to do that. So that was my first day streaming. I set up my stream schedule. That's so funny. Battlefield 1, played Elder Scrolls On. Those are the two games that I played just because I was getting back into Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
By playing it on console, I started picking it up with some friends. And then how I made the transition to console ESO to PC ESO was I was about like 2 weeks, somewhere around there, a week or 2 weeks into streaming ESO on my channel. And to bring it back real quick to the beginning of the channel, it was more of I streamed like 2 days and had my affiliate status within by the first day, essentially.
That's funny. I think it took me like a week. It took me like a week, and it only even took me that long. Like I was in a trade guild, and so like essentially the trade guild just sort of just came in and just hit all the metrics, right? Like that, and then it sort of, once you make affiliate, that's when like the hard work starts basically, and like that's when you actually have to like, because it's one of those things.
Partner, man.
Yeah, it's the same thing with partner. I was just talking with somebody the other day about this, about how like it's funny how sometimes that like you'll see somebody with like several hundred viewers, and and they'll do a partner push, and then 700 viewers a night, and then they'll make partner, and then their channel's like a ghost town.
Yep.
Because like they didn't necessarily like, it's one of those things where like they didn't necessarily cut their teeth right and build like a community as a streamer, and then all those people just leave. And we were just talking. I was just talking with somebody about this the other day.
So that's kind of the thing is so that happened really quickly. So I was already on my feet. I was playing ESO way regularly. I would maybe have like one Battlefield night a week. I was playing ESO like crazy because my goal, I was like, I want to get good. I want to be able to carry people through stuff. I want to be able to be that. I want to learn about the game. And I met probably all of my closest people that I played with at the time through Twitch. I didn't really know them. I actually started playing with a guy from high school randomly, I don't even remember. Oh, he came in randomly to like one of the other channels I worked with, and we, I think, became friends in Discord or something. And then we ended up playing, and we hadn't seen each other in, 12 years or some shit, so probably longer than that. It's probably almost been 20. But anywho, so I was playing with him for a while, and then I remember ending stream. I'm like, I'm gonna watch some ESO. So I remember pulling up, and if you can, guys who are listening to this, go follow this man. His name's RebelRabel. It's twitch.tv/RebelRabel, and that's RebelRabble.
I'll make sure, send that to me. I'll make sure and put it in the description too.
Cool. So I remember watching him playing ESO. I was like, man, this guy seems really nice, really friendly. His community is pretty cool. God, it looks great on PC, but he only played on PC. I was like, man, so I hung out there with a couple nights, and I'm like, I really want to play this on PC. So I'm going to buy this game on PC. It was $20. I bought it off of GameStop's website. It was $20. It came with Morrowind. I popped that bad bitch on my PC. I was like, I'm going to stream PC Elder Scrolls. I remember making a Warden tank, who's my main still, making a Warden tank because I saw Warden on console and really thought it was awesome. So I made a Warden tank. He was a Nord. And I just started the journey. And this was back when Nords were not good. They didn't have any purpose. I pretty much made an RP character, right? So I just started going out in the world. No idea what I was doing in tanking, period. I ended up playing with those guys, and I ended up just really liking the PC experience, the feel of the menus, like wanting to get better. And it just kind of grew from there. So, I mean, that's kind of really, I know that's a really long-winded explanation, but...
No, dude, we got plenty of time.
That would pretty much be, how I made it into streaming and how I got to where I got to at the beginning, and how I made that switch from console to PC. And I mean, that's why I have no hate for anyone on console. So it's not.
Oh yeah, you had that struggle. You had that struggle.
Well, it's not master race. It's
no.
If you like the same game I like, friend, I don't give a fuck if you play it on a goddamn ColecoVision. I don't give a shit where you're playing that.
For sure.
Game, let's hang out and let's talk about why we like it, or what we do in it, or blah blah blah. It's what connects us. So. That transition to PC was good, and I don't think I would ever go back to console.
Yeah. What's your favorite like piece of content in ESO? Like either like a dungeon or like a DLC. Like, do you have something that's your absolute favorite? Is it Morrowind because that's where your like roots were?
Honestly, the most beautiful place in the entire game is probably Cyrodiil.
I thought you were gonna say my house. Bert's house.
It's probably Cyrodiil because of just how complex the terrain is. Like, there's snow, and then it's just this very open zone, and it just brings you back to my Oblivion roots.
That's actually one of the things I want to see. I would like to see them add another map. I've been saying this for a while. I don't know if they ever will, but I would love to see them add another actual like Cyrodiil map, like just something different. Gold
Coast, and it's just bare. Like, the shitty thing is the Gold Coast is really cool looking, but it's just bare, and there's nothing to do there. There's like a house. There's like now I would love this, but before there's not really anything there. So
I would love to see them add another like actual like, and it doesn't even have to be like Three Banners War, just like an open world like PvP zone, right?
I've been crying for an Imperial faction in Cyrodiil for a long time. Like,
a lot of people thought that's what they were gonna add with what was it Elsewhere, but they didn't end up doing that. But that could be something they'll do later, right? But that actually leads me to where do you actually think the content's gonna take us as far as like the next big expansion?
Question,
yeah.
Before we got kind of sidetracked, is I think my favorite piece of content in the game, I think is there's a couple of things that I like. So if you're asking me, I could kind of break it down like this.
Yeah.
If you're asking my favorite 4-man content, it's probably Veteran Black Bros Prison. I want to say that the level of difficulty in the space that I operate in and with who I play with, and
Yeah.
I would say a lot of 4-man content in the game is not very challenging to me.
Okay.
Even though it's harder on other players. I know those dungeons are hard, but you run them with viewers and friends so many times, you know what I mean? It kind of starts to lose its luster. It's like, okay, well, I can do this. Like, I would say Veteran Black Rose Prison is more of a learning experience about learning. It's about getting your ass kicked, but it's also about learning the survivability of your character at a holistic level. So you can go into a 4-man dungeon and be like, oh yeah, I'm surviving really well. It's because your healer is pretty much out of the shit and they're just healing your ass off. In Veteran Black Rose Prison, the healer can't really escape from what's happening as well. So they're in as much fire with you. So the tank has to really do everything he can to survive, or her, I should say. They're doing whatever they can to survive. The healer is doing whatever they can do to survive. And the DPS have to do the same thing. I think it's really a good test of how well you play together as a group and learning your role as well. So I think that's probably my favorite. I still only have 2 clears on it, but if you were to ask me tonight if I wanted to go do Veteran Black Rose Prison, I would tell you yes.
See, that's funny because that's not what I thought you were going to say. Like, we hang out a lot, and the Black Rose Prison thing, I honestly thought you were going to tell me like Crypt or Cradle of Shadows or like VDSA or something. I mean, that's funny. Okay, yeah.
I love like Depths of Malatar and March of Sacrifices are 2 of my favorite dungeons ever. I love them. I love the aesthetics of them. They're really cool. Boss fights, all of them are really unique. I also love Moonhunter Keep. That's also up there. But I would say just like I can run those things. Like I can do a Moonhunter Keep in like, under an hour, no matter pretty much almost whichever group I get put in with.
Yeah.
We can do it in under an hour. Black Rose Prison is just one of those things that like people look at content like that like hell. I look at it as like I'm going to die a lot, but it's a learning experience.
Oh no, for sure. It's unique too. It's not like, it's not designed like really anything else in the game as far as like.
But I do love.
No, go ahead.
But like, so 4-man stuff, that's where it's at. If you're asking me what my favorite 12-man content is, I'm probably going to tell you Halls of Fabrication.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's long, man. It's long. It's difficult. It's and to me, it's aesthetically pleasing.
It really is. No, it really is.
Morrowind up into the Clockwork City portal. It's really cool. The boss fights are super neat. It really requires a lot of communication between the group. That's probably my favorite 12-man content, even though I love like Cloud Rest is fun on Veteran.
So I don't think I've run Hoff since the healing changes, VHoff since the healing changes. So that'll be interesting. It's at some point, you know what I mean, to get back in there. Yeah, I'm sure it isn't.
And then, but you would also like, I love housing. I love fashion. Those are 2, like, if we're not talking about like actual in-depth gameplay, I would say housing and fashion are probably my 2 favorite things. I'm a sucker for, if a very good house comes on the market, I will buy it.
Yeah.
If a motif that I'm like, God damn it, I can't live without a lot of those.
Yeah.
I will buy that out of the Crown Store. Those are pretty much my only Crown Store fucking purchases, are like housing items and motifs for pretty much, I would say 99% of it. So
what was the one that came out of was that Wolf Hunter? You bought that like the day it came out, didn't you? You were like, I remember what was the one? Silver Dawn. Yeah, I remember literally, like, I remember coming into your stream and you were like, yo, check out the Silver Dawn, son. Look at these maces. Yeah, dude, you were on it, dude. That was so funny, man.
But it'd be the same thing as like the Sunspire set. I've been looking at that. I've been wanting that Yolna the Yolna staff as like I've been wanting that. I love the look of that. The Sunspire Jack is
Does that drop? Does that drop in the trial yet? Didn't they delay that?
It will in 2 days.
Okay, yeah. Because I remember
on the 18th.
Every time I go in there,
Meridia, and
you farmed it, yeah.
No, we started to farm it, and then they ended up pulling it. But the night we were farming it, me and Storm gifted it to each other. So,
oh, that's so funny.
Like,
yeah, no.
Time it was like it was pretty fucking hilarious.
Every time I go into Sunspire, now I know the date. Every time I go into Sunspire, every single time I walk in that trial, I ask him like, "Do you guys know if this drops yet? Do you guys know if this thing is dropping yet?" Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to farm it.
And that's how my favorite content's kind of broken down.
Yeah, that's cool, man. But no, where do you? Me and you are pretty similar, I think. It's for although I don't like Blackroot's Prison. I was in there like once, and I was like, oh fuck. I was like, oh god.
I love soloing stuff.
I know you guys like 4-man. By the way, guys, if you guys don't know this, Bert on a regular basis for a while was 4-manning Cloud Rest, like normal Cloud Rest.
Just for lulz, man. Just to see if we could do it, and we've completed it twice.
Oh, that's so funny.
One really randomly with Chewy. It was Chewy, me, and Leon, Dion, and Storm, and we just did it impromptu and beat it the second pull on Zamachi.
Chewy's outrageous. We were just talking about that the other night. Chewy is such a good player. It's crazy.
Yeah, he is really good, and he's a great friend.
Chewy's cool. I've known Chewy. I wouldn't say me and Chewy are like friends, but Chewy's somebody I've known in and out of like guilds for a long time. You know what I mean? Like he's sort of like we're both in a raiding community. It's one of those things where like you just sort of meet people and stuff over the years. Yeah. No, where do you think we're going next as far as like ESO, like for the next expansion? I'll let you go first. I think I know where we're going next, but I have a hit. I think
there are some things that are, I'm really excited about. They're really focusing on giving class identity, which actually watching the ESO live.
Yeah.
There was a thing that I put in chat in there was, so now it looks like Stamdens won't run rending.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you would go Shulk, Bird off balance, right? And then Bird.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to put a double bleed on it. It's not going to stop,
I
would assume. Anywho, I like the class ability. Or the class diversity, I would say. The more identity that each class has.
Yeah, all the changes look really good. What's actually funny is my very initial reaction, and this was on the stream, we streamed it. My very initial reaction when I saw the Stam DK changes, I was like, damn. And I was like, damn. I was like, because like they nerfed our two like primary dots, they nerfed them, and I was like, damn. And then I looked at the they're changing basically Stone Fist into a spammable, and then I looked at the cost, and I was like, I don't know, man. And I was kind of down on it. And then somebody in chat pointed out, they're like, you forgot about, Helping Hands. And I was like, yeah. I was like, wait, you get stamina back. So what's actually funny is on paper, if you look at the cost, it costs you like, if you look at the cost, it costs you like 3,200 to cast it, but you get cost reduction from passives in the Stam DK line, and then you get like the 1,000 stamina back for casting it.
So it's like 2,200.
Yeah. So it only ends up costing you like 1,900 to use it.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's
yeah. So I went on the PTS and I looked at it, and what's funny is what we all missed initially is it gives the entire group minor brutality when you cast it for like 20 seconds.
It's pretty good.
I know. And so I was like, okay. So yeah, so on paper, some of the class identity stuff, you're looking at it and you're like, well, that's kind of underwhelming. And then you actually get in, because what you don't see in those patch notes is how by
passives.
Yeah, and how some of those passives, like tie into it. So yeah, dude, I'm really excited.
One thing that I had kind of there's a couple of complaints that I would have on my end. I'm super excited about all the class stuff, especially that they're kind of giving Warden love first, which I really think is
Yeah, I know. Mag Warden has been bad for a while. Like
Standard's not been Standard is getting affected by those as well. You know, why Stam DK gets buffed and succeeds in this pack.
Oh yeah.
You have Stamden falling back a bit. So I just the Warden is never given love unless it's at a support based level. But here's my complaints towards it. I feel like a lot of the changes that they're making, especially with dot meta, changing it again after 2 months. Like the one thing is like we're talking 2 months. That's not time enough to outfit all your characters. Say you have 10 characters, you have to re-outfit all your characters.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Time to practice what you're doing and then have time to play that character before they change it again. That's
I know. Oh, I know. You're telling me I'm on a Stam DK using Deadly, right? My entire build, dies on dots and signal target dots mostly. So like, no, I'm with you. It's a huge yo-yo. It's just one of those things that like, I keep telling myself, I'm like, there's a bigger picture. Like they're reworking, you know what I mean? Like there's a bigger picture. They're reworking CP, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I'm trying to like, you know what I mean, stay objective, you know what I mean? Like, okay, there's a bigger picture here and, let me test these changes. Cause like a lot of times, like a lot of times they'll take damage some places and they'll give you damage other places and they're like moving things around, right? Like
when you watch like an ESO live, something, where we just watched that today and, I love Brian and Gilliam. But they were talking about a lot of things in a PvP aspect, like approaching, describing the changes that they were making at a PvP level. Like they rarely touched on how it might affect a PvE standpoint. There was a lot of talking about how this would be a finisher or a,
Well, they did at one point. They did at one point. They talked about how. No, go ahead.
It felt more of the changes that we're making are just coming from a PV. As a PvEer, let me ask you this. Would you complain about the dot meta currently? Do you have anything? I know it sucked to switch everything over, but now that we're here, would you complain about anything about the dot meta?
No. I mean, I personally wouldn't, and that's coming from.
Who do you think would complain about a dot meta?
Well, the PvPers were. I mean, and if you look on the forums,
that's where I feel like
if you look on the forums, that they've been burning the forums down with like, hey, like you're killing us. Hey, you're killing us with all these dots. You're killing us with all these dots, and like I get it. I mean, I get it, right? Because I only PvE, right? I don't very rarely ever PvP, but like, I mean, I get it because you can only cleanse a dot so much, right? Like you're getting wiped out or whatever. Like,
but it just seems that's. That's just an example over a conversation that has been happening since shield nerfs and
I know.
Forward, it seems like one thing becomes a problem in PvP and
it doesn't make any what doesn't make any sense to me, and I talked about this on stream the other night, and I've talked to you about this, I think, is like I don't understand, like the mechanic is already in the game. Like we have Battle Spirit, like it's in the game. Right, like I do, and I don't understand why they don't just tie. And it might, and again, it might be like an actual like hardware thing, right, or software thing in the back where maybe they can't, right? I don't know. But like the mechanics in the game to separate them, like to balance them separately, and maybe that's something they're working towards. I know there was that rumor that said they were going to tie the dots to Battle Spirit. And maybe that's something they're doing on the back end, you know what I mean, for like next patch or whatever, right? Because they have like a what is it, like not a floor plan, but like a what do they call that, like a like their like development, like what are the roadmap? Roadmap's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it might be in their roadmap somewhere, right? They might do that later. It might have just been a rumor.
But that would be my only complaint. Now, where I think we're going, I don't currently know. We'll have to get into the PTS. I'll have to test things out. I'll have to test that idea that I have of removing rending from wardens and putting the Stam version of Swarm on there instead, and maybe figuring that out in that space. I do like changes that they were making towards that, where they're trying to make more classes have stamina versions of their things.
Yeah, dude, the pet for Sorks.
Yeah, so stamina players have been crammed into this certain mold for a very long time, where they run rending or they run flurry. Their back bar consists of bow abilities or caltrops.
Everyone, yeah, literally everyone is
now. Poison inject. Like, you live in a space in this box. Magic characters don't really live in that space. They are starting to now, and that's like a big thing that I know that Magic characters are like, where's my class identity? And it's like, welcome to fucking stamina for the greater part of almost 2 years. Like, stamina characters have been in that box where, like, we rely on weapon skills. We rely in that space where now you have to go and you're getting these Mage's Guild abilities that you have to use, and that's frustrating. Or now you have to use Soul Trap, and it's putting you in this mold. It's like, I like how they're taking Stam characters out of that mold, and I would assume that Magica characters are going to do that next. So,
oh yeah,
they're giving us these skills that we've balanced, and now they're going into the classes and being like, okay, how does this affect this? How does this affect this? So now next patch, you can keep everything that they've done, except maybe one thing is from the class is now better than this, but that was a placeholder. Like, your Fire Rune might have been a placeholder for your swarm that you use, or whatever you're using,
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Placeholder while they're reworking this stuff. So I do like that. I really enjoy what they're doing as far as with trying to move it towards more like, I play this character, it feels like a warden. I don't want to play my Mag Warden and feel like I'm playing my Templar, except I have Shulks, so
yeah.
That's one thing that I don't like this current patch, but I like how they're doing that. And I like how they're addressing Warden first, which has had a really big problem of just being mediocre across the board for several patches. Stam didn't spend good because it's a Stam character. It's built out of other Stam character stuff. So it's just has hard-hitting Shulks, basically.
Wow. No, go ahead.
I like the Betty rework as well. The Betty rework is absolutely tremendous. That green Betty now purges.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that.
That's huge.
Yeah, the blue. I
can't run. I get to run Blue Betty or Green Betty now. The only reason as a Warden tank that I ran Blue Betty is because of the purge.
Yeah, it'll be nice on your tank, especially like somewhere like VMAW. Especially somewhere like VMAW or VHOF, which I know you said you like to run. There's certain fights in there. Almost all the fights in there actually require purges. In HOF, yeah, almost every single fight, probably except the second boss, and then I guess the spider boss they don't really require purges.
But I
think they do.
That's where I'm going. Like,
yeah, no, I do too. Like I said, I
just wish they would stop operating so much at a PvP standpoint. And I know that they read the forums, and I know that it just needs to be something that's addressed.
Oh no, for sure, and we'll give them feedback, right? And they can adjust stuff, and that's what PTS is for. But
I do like the changes to where they're going.
With all those changes in mind, do you have any advice for anybody like coming into the game now? Like newer players to the game. I know there's like basic stuff. Like I know me and you both always tell everyone like, play a bunch of different classes, right? Like that's always good advice. But like, do you have anything specifically for like anything for anybody coming into the game? Do you have any advice for them?
My first piece of advice, say the most important piece of advice to someone coming into the game, would be adaptable. Be
That's
okay
good
with
advice.
change.
Yeah.
Be okay with change. Don't let it define the way that you play the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Be adaptable to because things are going to change.
Yeah, oh for sure. We're gonna CP rework at some point, I assume next year. There's no time, there's no like date on that, but it's something I think they even talked about today during the live stream. They were like, there's a CP rework coming somewhere. It was in the patch notes, like.
Next in line would be research your shit.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Like
probably number 2.
Yeah, like race changes and like I even like buying the game. Like they do a pretty good job of explaining that, but I can't tell you how many times like I've went into somebody's stream or I had a friend of mine like, hey, I bought this version of the game and like I can't play this class, like, you know what I mean? Like the whole any race, any alliance thing, you know what I mean? Like that sort of confuses people. Who's like, what do you mean I can't play this race? Or like, what do you mean I can't play like a necromancer, right? Like I would say for sure that's good advice. Like do your research, especially like if you're gonna buy the game. Like
every
research,
level,
like
that's holistic
so for sure.
Do research before you buy the game. When you buy the game, do research on the character that you want to play. When you decide the character that you want to play, do research on the gear that they want to wear.
Oh, for sure.
When you figure out the gear that you want to wear, figure out for what content you want to run, research the content that you want to run, all the way down to research your fucking items in your craft bag. Like research those traits. You know, it's at a whole holistic level. It's like, don't come into this game being oblivious. It's not a game that you can pick up, you know, right and just have a shit ton of fun, because it's pretty overwhelming. So do your research at every single level of this game, period.
Oh, for sure.
Best advice.
No, sorry. Gooser was messaging me about StamDK. Me and Gooser are already like putting our brains together on StamDK, and I was like, woman, me and Bert are like recording stuff. Please. It's exciting though, right? Like it's exciting.
I would say 3 is my third piece of advice, and probably last but not least would be have fun. Do it.
Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Have fun in the game. Don't tell people what you can or can't run. However, don't be surprised if you make a character and it doesn't play the way you want, if you're just willy-nilly doing things. That's fun.
For sure.
Every part of the game. So I mean, it's pretty plain and simple.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that I would say that pretty much covers it. Like, I mean, I think it pretty much covers it, man. Do you have anything coming up you want to shout out, or do you have anybody you want to shout out on the podcast? Like, go for it, dude.
So we do on Friday. We will be doing a stream. So this Friday on, I don't even know the date on it.
Friday's the 20th.
The 20th
of September.
Yeah, so
this will be out. This will be out before that. I'll put this out probably tomorrow or Wednesday.
On the 20th of September, if you want to tune into a very special Friday edition of ESO After Dark, it'll be Finn, so Michael Finnegan, Rich Lambert, and Gina Bruno, and myself, and we will be doing Layer of Marsalok on Veteran. With the devs. So if you want to tune in, we'll probably be starting that stream about 8 p.m. Eastern.
Nice.
So it'll be
okay. That'll be early. Eastern. That'll be early for you.
And it'll run a couple for 2-3 hours, I would assume.
And I'll put the link for that. I'll put the link for that for his stream, where you can go see that. I'll put that down in the description below the video.
Also, we are doing retro nights on Tuesdays. So if you want to show up on Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern, it is Retro After Dark, where I've been playing Dreamcast games. And in the future, once I get the Sega thing figured out, I will be doing like Genesis games and Nintendo games. And
nice. You played Soul Reaver. You played Soul Reaver, I think, last week, didn't you? That was fun, man.
Yeah, but I think this week I'm going to put up a poll of, I want to play something that's a little bit more action packed. So I'm putting up like Crazy Taxi and Tony Hawk's.
Oh my God, dude. What's that song? That whole soundtrack, dude, is always stuck in my head. The Tony Hawk soundtrack. Anytime I hear a song off that soundtrack, I'm like, Tony Hawk.
Not sure if I'll play one or two, but we'll probably do a mixture of some Dreamcast games. But that's something I've been trying to get out there as well. But you can, if you're looking for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bertferkins, or on Instagram at Bertferkins, and twitch.tv/Bertferkins. Other than that, man, thank you for.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for fucking coming, man. I appreciate you, dude. I wanted to do this for a while.